We're kicking off PDAC coverage with Rick Rule of Sprott. Thank you so much for joining us, Rick. My first day, my first interview. Welcome back.
Always a pleasure, Daniela. Saving the best for first.
Yes, of course. Now let me ask you, we are at the world's largest mining conference. With what sentiment do you come? Do you have an air of optimism? What are you expecting from PDAC this year?
PDAC works for us every year because there's so many people here and we work so hard before PDAC preparing ourselves for PDAC. You get out of something like this what you put into it. We've had teams studying what we were going to do at PDAC for at least 6 months. With regards to the bigger question, in terms of the industry, we're cautiously optimistic. The stocks have run up an awful lot, and there's a lot of competition back in the financing market. From a check writer's point of view, perversely, we like stocks to be cheaper rather than more expensive. There's a lot of competition here. What really encourages us, though, Daniela, is that over the last year, I suspect as a consequence of money having been scarce for the 4 years preceding, the industry has been very efficient. The work that we have seen, comparing last year to this year, the 12 months work that we've seen so far this conference has been extraordinarily good, the best I've seen in many years in terms of capital efficiency, which is really nice. The industry needed that in a big way.
So there's been a cleanup.
I guess that's what happened. It's too early for me to ascribe cause. I think that people spent money imperfectly when it was too cheap to them, and going through 4 years of hard times, the exploration work that we've seen relative to the exploration expenditures over the last year has been really, really good work, which is really nice. Well, I hope it continues.
Well, I just came back from the BMO Metals and Mining Conference. I think the takeaway of most CEOs that I got was that this has been a great period for mining stocks, but let's not get ahead of ourselves.
That's
let's
correct.
Not get too excited. You agree?
Absolutely. A market that's up by 200% is by one measure 200% less attractive. It's more expensive.
Rick, let me ask, the last time we spoke was in December. We were talking about your 2017 plans, and you were telling me how you were open to looking outside the precious metals. You were liking uranium, you were liking zinc, and you want to better position yourself in 2017 to be ready for this market, these markets. What's the latest?
Well, that's true to some measure. We were particularly attracted to the uranium stocks, but then they, bad pun, exploded. So they are less attractive than they were simply because the thesis already worked. Yes, we're looking at agricultural minerals because other people hate it. Yes, we're looking at nickel. We love the copper space, maybe not for this year or next year, but the truth is that my experience in the mining business is that you have to invest now to harvest 3 years from now. So we're investing now with the expectation of taking the money off the table in 2019, 2020. It's that time arbitrage, competing against people who have trauma holding stock over a long weekend, that is what Sprott tries to do.
Okay, but you've pulled out of uranium, but you're still in zinc?
We have some uranium, but it's tough. It's tough to make new investments when you're competing with the whole street. We're competing with people right now who can't spell uranium. And it's
so what specifically are you liking?
I don't want to say really in front of my competitors.
Trying to get out of you.
I'll tell you this, we expect the gold stocks to continue to soften because so many of them have raised so much money. So I wouldn't be surprised to see us come back into the precious metals space if it becomes less attractive to our competitors. Momentum is our enemy. And to the extent that the precious metals trade loses its momentum, we would love to be back in the precious metals trade. We are looking at tier one deposits almost irrespective of commodity, but tier one commodities are of course cheap. If I told you what commodity, my competitors would know what stocks.
Okay, how about which jurisdiction you're eyeing?
The jurisdiction I've spent the most time on recently is Congo. Again, I like to be where the enemy isn't.
Right.
Everybody.
You like to take those easy places, right?
In my life, technical risk has been more important than political risk. If I have the good fortune to discover something that a government wants to steal, the Canadian government and the Congolese government are equally disposed to steal from me. It's just that we believe if money is stolen from us by white people in English according to the rule of law, it's less gone.
I really want to ask you this also. I mentioned I was at the BMO conference, and something else I heard a lot was that mining CEOs feel, the majority, or at least the ones I spoke to, that the new Trump administration is very open to mining. I know you've been very outspoken on Trump before. Do you think that he's receptive to mining?
I do. I say critical things about Trump because I'm predisposed against all politicians. Some of Trump's proposals, that is reforming some of the silly laws with regards to the environment that were put in place over the last 15 years. His idea to deregulate some aspects of the burdensome U.S. bureaucratic superstructure and his idea to cut taxes, were they implemented, and I have my doubts, would be beneficial for the U.S. economy overall, which would be indirectly beneficial to mining and would be specifically beneficial to what remains of the U.S. mining industry.
All right, finally, Rick, the price of gold where we are at right now, are you happy with its performance?
Oh yeah. Yes, absolutely. I mean, the U.S. dollar is strong and gold is strong simultaneously. That's happened only twice before in my career, in 1975 and in 2001. In both cases, the dollar ultimately rolled over and gold went into a sort of a slingshot move. Is that going to happen this time? I don't know, but if past is prologue, I think it's happening for the same reason. So yes, I'm bullish.
Rick Rule, continued success. Best of luck attacking PDAC, the world's largest mining conference. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, ma'am.
And thanks for watching our coverage. We're just starting, so we'll have so much more for you. Be sure to stay tuned to Kitco.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Rick.
Okay.
Yes, awesome.